Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is UsernameHere. I'm joined by my co-commentator and good buddy friend, Devion. Welcome, everyone, BeamNG players and Grand Marshal fans alike, to this lovely day on Gold Coast, here for Episode 8 of our Grand Marshal Grand Tournament. This is definitely shaping up to be a very interesting set of rounds, ladies and gentlemen, because there are a lot of interesting dynamics going on between our vehicles. In our first place position, we have Mississippi State Trooper, very respectable car who has just struggled to get out of Police Interceptor's shadow for many different rounds. He has 5 points and he is doing whatever he can, but that shadow is definitely a very intimidating one. Wouldn't you agree, Devion?
It seems like Mississippi is actually like putting some work in and trying to catch up to the leader and maybe, for once become the points leader in the standings.
I fully agree. However, he is going to have a lot of ground to make up with all of his very stiff competition. And speaking of his stiff competition, over in the second place spot, our current champion, the Police Interceptor, with 6 points, who has led for this entire tournament. But a lot of his competitors are looking to catch up and unseat him from that throne. There is going to be a lot he'll have to do. He will have to use every trick in the book, every amount of his skill in order to keep that lead, because Mississippi, as well as Transit Police, are breathing down his neck for that trophy. In the third place position, someone that no one expected, Fairhaven City, the underdog story, trailing behind our top 3 cars, but definitely making a name for himself and garnering a lot of fans, even challenging and going against Mississippi and Police Interceptor. So it's a very interesting dynamic between our leader, our second place, and our underdog third place car. In our fourth position, we have the Louisiana State Police State Trooper Interceptor. It says both on the card, don't blame me, with 2 points at the moment, trailing behind most of our vehicles, but everyone can be an emergent threat here in this game, as we see from Fairhaven. Hopefully, maybe this episode will be his time to shine. Maybe this round too, and maybe he will be able to, grab up some points and put himself on the higher standing leaderboards. In our fifth position, the legendary former champion Transit Police, who has finally, after 7 rounds, climbed his way to the top with 5 points. He is tied with the Mississippi State Trooper car for that second place position. And just next to him is that Mississippi State Trooper car that he will have to battle for that first place position, as long as he is able also to defeat Police Interceptor and unseat him from his lead. He has a lot of skills and a lot of abilities, but he also has a lot of fierce competition here, and we'll see if he'll be able to seize that first place position and allow himself to be crowned the champion. Sliding over towards that particular brick building and sliding into this tournament is the New York City Undercover taxi. It is a very interesting vehicle that poses as a taxi, as you can clearly see, who also got 1,500 arrests. We're not going to focus on that. And yes, it is also totally not a New York City police vehicle. Those lights are just there for show. That's actually just because that's actually a hobby. That's also because he got cop. That's also because he got cop 15. In any event, though, he will be filling out our 6th place position in this tournament, and he will be looking to make a name for himself on those leaderboards. In our 7th place position, just after the taxi, is the Detroit Police Interceptor, the wallpaper car, as I refer to it. Currently has 2 points in this tournament and has had some nice moments, such as throwing the shipping container off the bus turn, the one that used to be called the bus turn, but then we broke off our partnership with Pointy Marcus. But anyway, yes, Detroit Police with 2 points, struggling to make a name for himself because he has a lot of fierce competition ahead of him, both literally and figuratively. And in our final 8th place position, representing Team BeamNG.drive itself, however, if we're being completely honest, disappointing Team BeamNG.drive itself, is the Belasco City Police Interceptor. Despite the fact that it's been like 7 or 8 episodes now and also 20 rounds, he just hasn't managed to win a point. And he technically does have 1 point, but that's because of the one round where everyone worked together, so that's kind of like not completely counting that. But yeah, Belasco City, with spiritually no points and technically 1 point, has been a bit of a disappointment for all of the fans of his particular underdog story. Hopefully, once he realizes he's starting to lose that bit of a following, he will bring out something spectacular, because he'll need it. In any event, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for round 22. There are a lot of fierce competitors looking to make a name for themselves or break out from the pack. Can Police Interceptor hold that lead? Can Mississippi take the first place position? Can Fairhaven City catch up to some of his fierce competition? There's only one way to find out, because round 22 is about to kick off.
And the cars are going off each individually in order, turning on their sirens and being ready for the chase.
Indeed, yes, my friend Devion. There goes Louisiana, followed by Transit Police, and just behind him, seeing if he can use some of those stealth and sneaky skills, because he in fact appears to be a taxi. Maybe it could help him here in this game. What do you think about that?
Yeah, like this stealth might be really helpful because like the runner might get confused that's just a regular taxi and run right into him.
Yes, despite the fact that it is a police car tournament, he has decided to bring a taxi. It could definitely help increase his stealth ability, but there's no way to know if that will actually translate to any points here on this game. Yes, as some of our hefty competitors move around the shipping container, Police Interceptor in the second place position, Fairhaven in third, Louisiana in fourth, Transit Police in fifth, with the New York City Undercover NYPD, totally not NYPD by the way, as it says, in the sixth place. Velasco actually taking a position now in the seventh place position. And Detroit Police is now in last place. The runner is now reaching the cliff turn right there, just under that particular watchtower. Is he, he's fine. For a second, it looked like he was spinning out. I was incorrect on that.
You know, it's interesting that Velasco City already made a position this early. Like, ooh, it looks like we got spin.
Ooh, Louisiana Transit Police looks like they just went up the mountain again. Why are they actually doing that? Yeah, they just go up there that way for some reason. They only started doing that recently. That makes no sense. Louisiana with a busted tire. Transit Police, though, getting around him and looking to see if he can reclaim some of those positions.
Anyways, as I was saying, like, Velasco City's making positions early in the rounds because maybe he's, like, in fear of being eliminated at the end.
That is perhaps true. He knows that he is starting to lose that following. He knows that eventually it could spell defeat in this tournament, and he knows that he has to step up his game in order to have a chance of winning this particular challenge. Or tournament. Yeah, both work. Police Interceptor screaming down the particular long straight at close Fairhaven. Louisiana just, what the frick is... Oh, he's spun out again! Oh, but it looks like our runner is getting close to the beach turn. Mississippi Police Interceptor and Fairhaven are just behind him. Let's see what happens. There could be a burst of speed here. Now the runner rounds the turn just fine. Mississippi looks like he breaks okay. Police Interceptor with the same. How is it going over on Fairhaven's side of things? Mississippi Police Interceptor, Fairhaven makes the turn okay. It looks like the beach turn will not be claiming any Grand Marshals for now.
It looks like Louisiana is still lost in the forest. Oh, never mind. He's going now.
His tire has changed. His front right tire is 90 degrees in the wrong way. New York City Undercover moving somewhere. Detroit moving somewhere. Velasco moving through the town. Transit Police moving as well. Runner going to the ditch turn at the moment. Looks like these cars are doing what they can to catch up to the top three.
I noticed that the field is actually really spread out because there are some cars that haven't even reached the beach turn yet. Now we're at the cinematic corner.
That is indeed true, my friend Devion. It is as a result of that. Police Interceptor and Fairhaven with some drifts. How about it? Looking for style points. Fairhaven, however, drifted a little bit early and is going to be losing some ground. A bit unfortunate for him.
You know, let's check on the cars behind them because that's a pretty huge gap.
A lot of ground. Detroit Police in the fourth place position. That was very unexpected. How about it? Detroit Police climbing through the pack. Louisiana in the town. Transit Police upside down. This brings me to the beach turn. That's a bit unfortunate. He's fine, don't worry about it. New York City Undercover moving ahead as well. Don't even know who that was. Maybe Louisiana. No, it's Velasco, actually. Velasco a bit busted on the beach turn, too.
Maybe something happened with Velasco and Transit Police. That's why they're over here.
Possibly, yes. Possibly true.
Oh my.
How are things going over at the runner side of things? Shipping container runner just moving along, having himself a grand old time. Mississippi's still right behind him as usual. Looks like Police Interceptor right behind him as well. Fairhaven had another bit of an accident. It looks like he's going to have a lot of ground to make up, but he isn't. But with all of his underdog spirit, he should be able to do it. Transit Police looks a bit busted. This is not an NYPD vehicle. Just making it absolutely clear to you that's not an NYPD. Velasco, despite having a busted bumper, is trying to move ahead and do whatever he can with what he's got.
You know, the undercover car seems to be pretty damaged, even though like there hasn't been any cars near him most of the time.
I agree. The undercover car is missing a few important bits. He's also missing this skill to move around that turn. Clearly, He did it a bit iffy, but managed to do it. Mississippi and the runner. Looks like they're about to reach the beach turn as well. Ooh, police interceptor screwing the turn around a little bit. But the runner is now here at the beach turn, ladies and gentlemen. Mississippi, the runner up, trying to scream ahead, do what he can. Looks like he's going to miss it. Yep, runner and Mississippi move ahead as well. Here's police interceptor, and it is a battle for first, ladies and gentlemen, with Fairhaven struggling to catch up.
Oh, is this a
Oh,
roadblock?
but Louisiana, though, is going backwards now. Not even sure what happened with him, but it could be making up for him. He just turns around.
Oh, he stops the other
Louisiana
cars.
trying to stop Mississippi. Police interceptor. Mississippi struggling to get around Louisiana. Mississippi is able to do so, and the police interceptor, though, is being blocked by Louisiana. Louisiana backs up to allow police interceptor to go, but that is a lot of distance lost by police interceptor, and also it looks like Louisiana will now be considered in the third place position. Here comes Detroit, of all people, in the fourth place position as well. What happened to Fairhaven?
Fairhaven looks like he got spun out.
Fairhaven got a bit busted on the beach turn like transit police. That's very unfortunate for him, and now the lineup has completely changed, ladies and gentlemen, shaping up to be a very interesting round. So, ladies and gentlemen, due to a bit of unfortunate luck, looks like the runner is stopped, and I say unfortunate luck because we didn't see it. I'm gonna scream. Here comes Fairhaven as well around the corner, so well done to him. But yeah, the runner stopped. The runner stopped, and Mississippi and Velasco have made contact with him. Velasco's actually under the runner. And not gonna lie to you, we don't know what happened, so we're gonna rewind the tape just to be sure. So, what we are currently doing is looking... Oh, it looks like he got pit maneuvered by someone, yeah. So what we're currently doing is we are rewinding all of the vehicles and seeing what happened. Trying to do what we can to see what actually happened to them. Where was Velasco as well? This is a real question.
Oh, looks like he's coming the other way around.
He was going the other way. Okay. All right, he was going the other way, and then he spun and ended up like that.
You know, I just think Mississippi and Velasco kind of just work together at this point, because...
I do agree. What it looks like... I do agree. What that rewind appears to show is that Velasco was coming in from the front, Mississippi was coming in from the front, Velasco got spun around, the runner got spun around, potentially by Mississippi, and then the both of them ended up propped against that rock. I would like to apologize for the inconvenience of the fact that we didn't actually see that. I really wanted... So, yeah. But yeah, it looks like for this round, Mississippi and Velasco will be awarded the point. So that means Velasco not only has a new point to call for himself, but Mississippi is also now tied for first with the police interceptor.
You know, it's really interesting. Like, he's really in jeopardy of getting eliminated, and Velasco comes out of nowhere and basically scores a point, which we don't even see. It's like really secretive here.
I fully agree. We didn't see it, but Velasco has finally managed to catch himself a point here in this game. Well done to him.
You know, we thought that the undercover car would be the one that's sneaky here, but turns out it's Velasco all along.
We did think that the undercover car would be sneaky, but Velasco pulling out those very interesting tactics. It was so sneaky that we didn't even see him win. That's how sneaky it was.
Speaking of the undercover car, where is he?
That is a good question as well, my friend Devion.
Looks like he wrecked out on the beach turn.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's after pair of specs.
So yeah, what a mysterious way to end round 22. But
what a mysterious and strange round. It's really sad that we Mississippi'd the round ending.
And now we'll go over the other cars that showed up.
Yep, we have Fairhaven that showed up a bit late. Detroit, Police Interceptor, and Louisiana are here as well. Well done to them for showing up. Yeah, Transit Police was a bit bust on the beach turn. Unfortunate for him, especially because he's in second.
So now with the conclusion of round 22, we will reset all the cars and be right back for round 23. So all the cars have been reset after round 22, and we will go over how they've been doing.
Yes, in our first place position, both literally and figuratively, we have Mississippi State Trooper, who has managed finally to emerge from the shadow of Police Interceptor, who has held the lead for this entire tournament. But now his lead is being challenged because there are now two cars with 6 points, ladies and gentlemen. Mississippi State Trooper has 6, Police Interceptor has 6, and they are going to start battling for that first place position in order for the right to call themselves the Grand Marshal champion. Police Interceptor now is probably going to be having himself a bit of a sweat because his lead is now being challenged by Mississippi State Trooper. He has held the lead. He has held the first place position for the entire tournament up until now, and he still technically leads it, but he is now tied with Mississippi State Trooper for first. What do you think about that, Devion?
I mean, it's gonna be really interesting because now they're both tied. Intercept actually has to, work a bit harder than usual to keep his lead.
Yes, the Interceptor is going to have to step up his game if he wants to keep his lead because Mississippi State Trooper is going to be breathing down his neck. It is going to be a very interesting battle to see who can get that 7th point first, ladies and gentlemen, and who can emerge as the new lead. And well, if Mississippi State Trooper can emerge as the new leader, or if the Police Interceptor can reclaim his lead. But just behind them is Fairhaven City, despite having 3 points, which I believe is fourth. Which I believe is fourth place. Technically, he has shown himself to be a fierce competitor. Sometimes when he wants to, he is a very fierce competitor, and if he can bring some of that spirit and bring some of his, some of that underdog spirit, like I said, he can start to emerge as a new competitor for that first place position. He will, however, have a lot of ground to make up and a lot of fierce competition to defeat, but I personally believe in him. Over in the fourth place position, we have the Louisiana State Police Car. Did not a lot that last round, but that is okay because he has 2 points. He is actually tied for I think. Let me just look at my notes here. We have a 3-way tie for last, ladies and gentlemen. There is a 3-way tie for last. Louisiana State Police is technically in last as well, but he also technically is in the 5th place position. If you could say, I don't know what I'm freaking saying. Yeah. So Louisiana State Police with 2 points, going to be trying to claim some sort of a lead, catch up to Fairhaven, and then see if he can put himself on the board as one of the top competitors here in this game. All right, correction. I've just been told by my producers that I'm actually an idiot who forgot to note down NYPD Undercover in the notepad document that I've got going on. So correction, he is tied for second to last with 2 other cars, and NYPD Undercover is technically in last, but that's okay because he just got here, so that's fine. In the 5th place position, our former champion, who is actually in 2nd place, is the New York City Transit Police Car. He has 5 points. He was tied with Mississippi, but then Mississippi was able to claim that last round and potentially leave Transit Police in the dust a little bit. However, we know him to be a very fierce competitor and a very skilled one, even though he doesn't always bring it to the table. He will need to step up his game if he is going to challenge those first place contenders and potentially even make this a 3-way tie for first. Wouldn't that be a spectacle, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think, Devion?
Yeah, that'd be really interesting. A 3-way tie. It's just like the Cars movie all over again. Hey, you made a Cars reference. I'm making a Cars reference too.
True. That is true. Earlier, off screen, off recording, I realized I made an analogy that the Police Interceptor is basically just the king because he's been the leader this whole time. Mississippi is Chick Hicks trying desperately to get to his 2nd place position, and Fairhaven is the runner, and Fairhaven is the runner-up rookie that came out of absolutely nowhere. And they're all in the top 3 positions. So yeah, it's basically just the king, Chick Hicks, and Lightning McQueen.
And now with the movie references out of the way, we move on to the next car.
You thought the movie references were over, but you're talking to me? In any event, the NYPD Undercover. In any event, now we have the NYPD Undercover car, which is totally not an NYPD vehicle, by the way. Just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. Totally not NYPD. Also, totally has no points, but that's okay because he just got here. Cars don't always win the first round they were in. However, considering his stealthy sneak tactics, maybe he could take a page out of Belasco's book and just not even allow us to see him winning, and maybe he'll be able to win some points for himself using that particular expertise. In the 7th place position, we have Detroit Police, who is tied for second to last with Louisiana and Belasco, because Belasco's the last car left. So anyway, Detroit is tied for second to last with 2 points, trying desperately to do what he can, but there's just a lot of fierce competition, ladies and gentlemen. Did manage to reach the 4th place position in that last round, though, so very good on him. Hasn't really been able to bring out that winning spirit, though, in this particular game. And in the final position, the co-winner of the last round, Belasco City Police with 2 points. Disappointing for the entire tournament up until now, but he is slowly starting to gain some ground now that we are finally not giving him any more chances. Yep, this is his time to his time to make it or break it, ladies and gentlemen. Will Velasco make it to the next episode, or will he be eliminated? And if activate your sirens, turn on your lights, start your engines, and fasten your seatbelts because round 23 is about to begin. They're off, ladies and gentlemen. Mississippi State Trooper, now that contender for first, followed closely by Police Interceptor, both of them battling for the first place position. Fairhaven City with 3 points in the third, doing what he can to break out. Louisiana with 2, Trench Police with 5, NYPD Undercover, though. Detroit with 2, Velasco with 2 as well. And the winner of that last round, yep, ship contender, yep. So, how do you feel about how this round is going to go, my friend Devya?
You know, I hope we actually catch what happens this time and not just have a camera focus on another car.
I do indeed agree. I hope we catch what happens. Oh, it's been a while. Fairhaven deciding to have himself a nice style points drift. Louisiana not even sure what he's doing. Fairhaven backs up and allows Transit Police to take the 3rd position. That's a interesting thing that happened here. NYPD Undercover now in the, I believe, 5th or 6th. Detroit's in last, all right? Velasco is now in 7th. Yeah, so NYPD Undercover is in 5th, Fairhaven's in 4th, and Transit Police is now in 3rd. This could be his round to win as long as he can defeat the very stiff competition up in the front of the pack.
You know, it's interesting. Like, Velasco's now passing cards really early in the round, like showing his aggressiveness.
I agree. Velasco City, that was nice. Velasco City, under threat of elimination, has now really stepped up his game. Velasco now streaming down the incline as well. The runner is now moving around this particular cliff turn, followed closely by our leaders, Mississippi and Police Interceptor, who are battling to get that 7th point.
Oh, looks like we got crashed.
God dang it. Oh, NYPD Undercover now is in 3rd, followed closely by Louisiana. And here comes Velasco as well. Transit Police and Fairhaven just kind of bust each other for some reason. Detroit as well. I think Transit is stuck. Transit has some really bad luck sometimes.
You know, Velasco's made up 2 positions now, which is pretty good.
Velasco has made up a lot of positions indeed. I believe he's in the 5th or 6th. Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised how like Velasco just was able to squeeze in between the 2 cars that wrecked and just make it through.
I fully agree. Velasco was able to squeeze between those 2 cars and get himself some more positions. Definitely playing more aggressively in this round, knowing that he was under threat of elimination and he really needs to step up his game. And he has definitely stepped up his game, ladies and gentlemen, as Mississippi and Police Interceptor move through the long straight. Police Interceptor hits it a bit wide. It's okay. Fairhaven as well as someone in front of him. Transit Police still a bit screwed. Unfortunate for him. Oh, Velasco. Wait, did Velasco go back to last? All right, the beach turn, though. Here's the beach turn. Looks like the runner moved around it just fine. Mississippi does the same. Police Interceptor does the same. Who is behind them? I don't even see anyone. They're kind of got a lot of ground to make up, whoever's here. It is the NYPD Undercover Taxi in 3rd, followed close by. I don't know who that actually was. That's Velasco, though. Is that Louisiana? Looked like it was Louisiana, maybe. Yep, that's Louisiana, all right. Oh, the Undercover Taxi as well as Louisiana wipes out on the turn. Oh, Velasco kind of sort of does the same. There's Fairhaven going over the turn as well. Very unfortunate for them. As the runner completes his first lap and reaches the cinematic corner again, he is moving around the cinematic corner. Mississippi and Police Interceptor, as usual, are not far behind. They are the, quite possibly some of the best in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, Fairhaven doing what he can as well. It looks like his steering's a bit busted, though, so he's going to have a very hard time on some of those turns, yeah. Louisiana stays upside down, poor guy. And he's back up. There's a lot of bumpers and crap. Transit Police, NYPD Undercover just doesn't have a tire at this point. Detroit moving ahead. Detroit is at the cinematic corner, and here comes Velasco, who's actually, I'm not even sure where that is. Is that like right after the cinematic corner somewhere? Oh yeah, it looks like his steering's having a bit of a problem as well. Looks like things have quieted down here, ladies and gentlemen. We just have our 2 front runners doing what they can to seize that first place position.
Looks like Fairhaven's a bit stuck over here.
Fairhaven is indeed a bit stuck. Fairhaven, a lot of these cars, I think a lot of these cars are due for a reset if the runner can make it to the spawn point. We should reset some of them. So they don't just turn around and then immediately get the win via a head-on collision. Because that would not be very fair.
That sounds like a great idea.
I agree, yes. And then, yeah, I gotta tell you, there's not much going on right now here. Very intense game, very intense battle. Fairhaven City doing what he can to keep up and make up for that ground. Detroit is actually still going strong, as well as Velasco just in front of him. Looks like Detroit might be taking position, possibly not. Velasco blocks him. So, yeah, Velasco and Detroit look like they're battling for actually 3rd place. Velasco had some busted steering, so yeah, that's a bit of a problem for him. Runner screams down the long straight. Mississippi and Police Interceptor are probably not far behind as well as they continue to battle for that first place position. Oh, looks like Police Interceptor bumped into something. That was a bit of bit problematic for him.
You know, with the graveyard of cards near the spawn point, like we might get a roadblock here working.
I fully agree. There could be a roadblock somewhere unless the cars are off the road. Speaking of that, though, looks like the runner spins out on the beach, ladies and gentlemen. This could be a time to shine. Mississippi smashes into him. Yep, Mississippi smashes into him. Here's Police Interceptor as well with the smash. It looks like the runner ever still going. He breaks free from that, and now he's moving ahead. This could be maybe Mississippi is pitting him, so now he's going forward again. This is a battle for first, ladies and gentlemen. If the runner goes back the other way, that could be Velasco's time to get him head on.
Oh, looks like we got some teamwork.
Looks like we got a bit of teamwork. Yeah, the runner is having a problem breaking free from here. And here comes Detroit, though, with the drift. Kind of moves up and around the rock, though. Unfortunate for him. So it looks like this is going to be the end of the round, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Police Interceptor and Mississippi have actually decided to work together for once to stop the runner. Well done to them. The runner has indeed been stopped, but unfortunately for that... Oh, here comes Velasco, yep, over the rock. Yep, just having himself a nice fun time at the beach over there. In any event, Mississippi and Police Interceptor now have continued their tie, I would say. They have now been awarded both 2 points, yeah. Round 23 goes to both Mississippi and the Police Interceptor for working together to seize the runner. Interesting dynamic here, ladies and gentlemen, I would say, because even though they are tied and they were battling with each other, in the end, neither of them were able to come out on top, and in the end, they both were able to secure the point.
Looks like we got like basically all the Grand Marshals here except for Fairhaven, which I believe is stuck somewhere.
What about Transit?
Oh, Transit is.
Well, Fairhaven's can't be underwater somewhere. Transit Police still in that one spot. Where is that?
That's cinematic corner.
Oh no, the cinematic corner. Oh yeah, right, because he can't turn. He didn't have his turning.
So yeah, moving on to the other cars that showed up.
Detroit, Louisiana, New York City Undercover. Velasco's over there. Yeah.
It looks like that would be conclusion of round 23, and we will move on to the final round of this episode.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the lineup for round 24. Mississippi and Police Interceptor have both been awarded 1 point, but their tie has not been broken. They now have 7 points, and they will have a lot of fierce battling to do before one of them is able to come out on top. And we are going to jump right into the round due to time constraints, not going to lie. So yeah, let's kick it off. Round 24 has begun.
It looks like the last one's doing a different strategy.
Velasco doing a bit of an interesting strategy, drifting off into the rock and the water. Okay. Well done to him.
I think it looks like he deserves a reset for that.
Okay. Yep, Velasco having some fun in the sun here on this round, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Mississippi Police Interceptor, Fairhaven, Louisiana Transit Police in the 5th place, followed closely by NYPD Undercover, Detroit in the 7th, and Velasco in the 8th. As the runner first rounds the cinematic corner. Will there be any position changes on this particular turn? That is a good question. Mississippi holding that first. Looks like Fairhaven Transit Police. And NYPD Undercover challenging Transit for that position.
Oh, what is Detroit doing? He's being really aggressive.
Swinging around a little bit. Velasco moving on the inside. Velasco manages to take a position from Detroit as well, so well done to him.
Well, maybe it looks like he'll get it back.
Velasco and Detroit now are basically battling for last at this point, kind of, in terms of the lineup, not in terms of points. As the runner reaches the incline and the turn right after the incline, correction. Mississippi screams down as well. Looks like he will be taking the turn just fine. Police Interceptor as well. Fairhaven in 3rd place as well. Yeah, it's shaping up to be a very interesting round. Louisiana in the 4th place position as well, followed closely by Transit Police in the 5th. Transit Police with 5. Gosh, why do they keep doing that?
I honestly don't know.
Why do they actually keep doing that?
Would you like Transit to get a reset?
In, like, episode 6, what?
Would you like Transit to get a reset for that?
Yeah, sure. Give him a reset. Ah, that works. That works. They've been reset at the point of the accident. That's fair. Yes, as we enter the long straight, Mississippi still holding that 1st place position. Police Interceptor just behind him, both with 7 points. Fairhaven with 3, slamming on the brakes for whatever reason. Louisiana looks like he's in interesting position as well. Transit, NYPD Undercover is underwater somewhere. Looks like there's someone behind him as well. Detroit, Velasco as well, moving around that corner too. Is there? Nah, it's just a rock. Never mind. Detroit and Belasco are moving ahead as well. There's Louisiana, though. Louisiana having a bit of a problem. These cars are like almost tied for last. So what is going on over at the runner side of things? Transit moving ahead as well. Fair and Police Intercept, Mississippi, both all moving through the town. The runner is about to reach the beach turn as well. Let's see if Mississippi is able to break this tie. If he gets a burst of speed, he actually will not be able to do that. Yes, the runner moves around the beach turn. Followed close by Mississippi, who has essentially at this point mastered that beach turn. And I assume Police Interceptor is not crashed as well. Yes, there he is.
Looks like pretty uneventful so far. Runner's put himself quite a gap between the Grand Marshals.
I fully agree. The runner is definitely bringing his A game here today and making sure the Grand Marshals have to work for it. Mississippi rounds this turn. Police Interceptor as well. Fairhaven trying to catch up. Louisiana's a bit busted on the long straight. That could be a bit interesting. Transit Police has some problems as a hubcap flies by. Transit Police having a bit of problems on the beach turn. Same with Belasco.
You know, Louisiana might be setting up a roadblock here. He's kind of in the middle of the straight.
Louisiana could be setting up a bit of a roadblock. Detroit, though, is still up. So is Fairhaven. And the runner is still moving and doing what he can. Fairhaven now at the ditch turn, moving ahead and doing what he can. So here's an interesting question. Why is it that Mississippi Police Interceptor and Fairhaven don't... Well, Mississippi and Police Interceptor don't crash at the beach turn. Everyone else does. That is weird. Why?
I never understood that. I guess it's a question for the creators of BeamNG to answer.
That is indeed very strange, yeah.
Well, they're coming up to long straight soon.
That is true, yes. They are on the way to their long straight. Mississippi and Police Interceptor still battling for first, but who else is out there to stop them? That is a good question.
Oh, Fairhaven's kind of behind.
Moving. Fairhaven has lagged behind quite a bit, but he is still in this game, moving down the incline. Louisiana busted. Transit Police is still in this game as well, getting to the cinematic corner, but he has a lot of ground to make up. It looks like, oh, Detroit as well, moving over towards the cliff turn. So if I'm not mistaken, Fairhaven's in third, Detroit is in fourth, and Transit is in fifth. However, there is a lot of distance between those cars.
So now heading up to the long straight, which Louisiana might actually change the outcome of this round.
Indeed, it is possible. Where is Louisiana? There's Louisiana, though, right before the turn. This could be a bit of a problem for potentially the runner as well as the competitors. Here they come. Mississippi Police Interceptor, as well as the runner. Runner moves around Louisiana just fine. How will Mississippi do? Mississippi moves just fine. Police Interceptor the same. Looks like Louisiana's not managed to accomplish anything as we see our top two. Round out the long straight. Long turn, I mean. Moving into the town as well. The runner screams down the town, evidently disrupting everyone's beauty sleep. But in any event, the Mississippi State Trooper car is now getting up towards him. It looks he's going to spin out again. It's like, are we going to see a repeat of last episode? Mississippi with the pit as well. Police just haven't missed it, but the runner
no, he turns around.
Move back. That means whoever is in third, that means Fairhaven potentially if he's in the town. Here he is. Is Fairhaven going to get the head on? Fairhaven gets the head on, ladies and gentlemen. Fairhaven hits it. Detroit with the smash in the back as well. Detroit and Fairhaven closing out that round with a beautiful pair of head-on collisions. And Fairhaven showing that he's still in the game by continuing to ram the runner. What an amazing end to the round, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I don't know. We were considering Detroit up for elimination, but after this, I'm not sure about that.
That's true. That's true. We were considering Belasco for elimination, but then they got a point. And then we were considering Detroit for elimination, and then they got a point. So what are we going to do now?
Might be Louisiana. He hasn't done anything. He set up that horrible roadblock that did absolutely nothing.
Potentially Louisiana, I agree, yes.
So, looks like with the conclusion of this round, Louisiana will be eliminated after in his...
Potentially true, yes.
So, yeah, let's go over the cars.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over the cars. Fairhaven City, our winner with a beautiful head-on collision, smashes the runner. Detroit with a rear-on collision as well. Very respectable, managing to pull it off in this game. Police Interceptor in Mississippi, our current champions tied for first, but Fairhaven moves in and sees his time to strike in order to get a point. Who's that? Belasco got busted the beach turn. Unfortunate for him. NYPD Undercover is underwater somewhere. There's Louisiana. Transit Police in the forest somewhere, dang it.
Oh, he's in the end of the long straight.
Oh, he's at the long straight. Screwed up with the long straight. Unfortunate for him.
Maybe it has something to do with Louisiana.
Yeah, maybe it could have been a result of Louisiana. I agree.
So, do you agree that both Detroit and Fairhaven should get a point for that?
I agree. Fairhaven with the head-on collision, absolutely capitalizing on that. Detroit doing the same, pretty much working together at this point, and both of them should be given the point. I agree.
So now comes the time of the episode where we actually agree on the cards to eliminate. And what are your picks?
We were going to eliminate Belasco, but they got a point. We were going to eliminate Detroit, but they got a point. Transit has too many points. Police Interceptor has too many points. Fairhaven has too many points. Mississippi has too many points. NYPD Undercover just got here, so we can't eliminate them.
So it looks like that leaves Louisiana.
Yeah, unless you wanna like not eliminate anyone, because that's technically an option.
I think
Even though
we
I
should.
said we would every episode, sometimes we don't want. Yeah, I think Louisiana didn't really do much. I would say.
Yeah, he kind of started beef with the other cards like early in.
That is true. He did start a bunch of beef. A bunch of beef, yes.
So
actually, one of his points too was from the all.
Yeah, to be fair, he got a point from
Louisiana
that.
hasn't really done much. I'm actually looking through the notes and seeing how he actually got his 2 points, and it wasn't the best. Wasn't even the best, yeah.
So it looks like Louisiana will be eliminated in this episode, and will be replaced with another Grand Marshal in the next one. Oh,
Indeed, it looks like unfortunately Louisiana State Police, despite being in it for a few episodes and getting a couple of respectable points, hasn't really managed to break out of that realm of obscurity, and he will unfortunately be eliminated from this tournament. In any event, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 8. Thank you for watching. My name is UsernameHere, joined by my co-commentator Devion, and we will see you in the next episode.